In the dimly lit corridors of the morgue, the air hung heavy with the scent of formaldehyde and decay. A world of chilling silence and cold sterility where the only signs of life are those who tend to the departed. Among them, Jacob, the night attendant, a figure as somber as the setting he inhabits. Jacob's routine is a dance with the dead, a shuffle through rows of gleaming steel drawers, each a final resting place. His footsteps echo, punctuating the eerie quietness that clings to the place after midnight. The silence is a suffocating blanket, wrapping him in a solitude that's as comforting as it is unnerving. Tonight, however, his solitude is disrupted. A faint whisper, so soft it could be mistaken for the rustle of his uniform against the cold floor. He dismisses it as a trick of his imagination, a mere phantom of sound born from the endless quiet. But then, the whisper grew louder, more distinct, echoing through the sterile halls like a spectral lament. Curiosity mingled with apprehension as Jacob followed the sound, his heart pounding in his chest. A whisper, faint yet distinct, seemed to be calling out from one particular drawer, its cold steel surface glistening under the harsh, unforgiving fluorescent lights. It was a chilling symphony of sound, a spectral lament that echoed through the sterile halls. The whispers twisted and twirled in the air, forming an eerie melody that sent shivers down his spine. Jacob stood before the drawer, his hands trembling as he reached for the handle. He could feel the cold of the metal seeping into his skin, a stark reminder of the lifelessness that lay within. The whispers now seemed louder, more insistent, their ghostly tones seeping into the very marrow of his bones. With a deep breath, he pulled open the drawer. Inside lay a body, a lifeless husk, its eyes closed in what seemed like eternal slumber. But as Jacob leaned closer, the whispers intensified. He strained his ears, his heart pounding in his chest as he tried to discern the words. "Help me!" the voice pleaded, a desperate cry that seemed to echo directly into his mind. "I'm not dead! Please let me out!" Jacob stumbled backward, his mind a whirlwind of disbelief and terror. Was he hearing things? Was the solitude of the morgue finally taking its toll on his sanity? He couldn't fathom what was happening. Was he losing his sanity, or was this some macabre trick of the darkness? Unable to resist the pull of the voice, Jacob approached the drawer once more, his hands trembling as he reached for the cold metal handle. His heart pounded like a drum against his ribs, a deafening rhythm in the otherwise silent morgue. A chill ran down his spine as he slowly pulled open the drawer, the metallic screech echoing ominously in the vacant room. The body lay there, as still and lifeless as before. But as Jacob leaned closer, his breath hitched in his throat. The body's eyes were open, staring back at him, not with the glassy gaze of the dead, but with a haunting darkness that seemed to consume all light. A darkness that bore into his very soul, paralyzing him with a terror that was as cold as the steel drawer beneath his trembling hands. Suddenly, the body sat up. Jacob stumbled back, his heart pounding so fiercely he could feel it in his throat. The figure's mouth moved, and the same chilling whisper that had led him here filled the air. "Thank you for freeing me," it said, a sinister smile spreading across its pale face. A smile that was not of this world, a smile that was as terrifying as it was mesmerizing. Jacob's mind raced as he tried to comprehend what was happening. His breath came in ragged gasps as the figure continued to speak, its voice echoing around him. "Now you shall take my place." The words hung in the air, their meaning sinking into Jacob's consciousness like a stone in water. A cold terror washed over him. He wanted to run, to escape this nightmare. But he was rooted to the spot, his feet refusing to obey his frantic mind. Before he could react, the figure reached out, its icy fingers wrapping around his throat. A gasp escaped his lips as he was pulled towards the drawer, the cold steel chilling him to the bone. He fought against the pull, his hands clawing at the figure's unyielding grip. But it was futile. He was being drawn into the darkness, into the chilling emptiness that had consumed the figure's eyes. His screams echoed around the morgue, a desperate plea for help that fell on deaf ears. And as the whispers faded into the silence of the morgue, Jacob's screams went unheard, lost in the darkness of the night.